Um,
Very good.
so I want to officially start the meeting and call it to
Oh, wait
order.
a minute.
If we could please all rise and say the pledge, please.
Jerry, thank you.
Oh, you mean like a
Sorry, I'm doing this from home because I have a
play?
meeting after this that's near the house. So, okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for the fiscal year 2024 budget consultations. So just a few rules. So usually we try to limit our testimony to 3 minutes for anybody who hasn't done it before. And then there is a brief Q&A if any of the members have any questions afterwards. So just moving right along, I'm going to keep some of our housekeeping issues until later on tonight. But so far for attendance for the morning session, we do have every member except we are missing CB1 and Councilwoman Hank's office. So moving right along to the presentations. First is on your mark. On your mark, please take it away.
All right. Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I am going to share my screen, so let me know if you can see it. Looks all right?
Yes.
Excellent. Alrighty. Well, my name is Jessica Caracciolo, and I'm the Director of Development here at On Your Mark. For those of you who are unfamiliar, On Your Mark's been serving the IDD community since 1979 through day and community habilitation, residential with 12 group homes and over 30 apartments, respite and employment services. We also proudly own and operate 7 businesses that employ individuals with IDD in the community. So we do have a few funding opportunities for fiscal year 24. So thank you so much for this platform to discuss them. The first one we'd like to highlight is On Your Mark Senior Services. So we call this our Primetime Friendship Club, and it's exactly what it sounds like. We get our seniors, they get together, they can do various things in the community, provides them socialization opportunities, and as our individuals have been growing with the organization, they're getting older, and so we're trying to accommodate as many as we can. So we are looking to expand these programs this year with hopefully the help of our local council members. Our next program is our retention recruitment. As I'm sure everyone is feeling it, we lost about 50% of our workforce during the pandemic, but very proud to report that On Your Mark was able to hire 154 new staff members in 2022. So we've brought our individuals back to program. We're working on bringing more individuals in that have not had services with us. And of course, we're looking to keep and attract our talent. So we've been focusing on running 2 hiring events a year that have proven to be really successful. And we also have open interviews on Tuesdays. So definitely, using a lot of resources to make that happen. Our third program we'd like to highlight is called Project Teamwork. We are proud to continue this program where we partner with local high school and colleges to recruit and compensate students ages 14 to 22 to work in our various programs. This does provide them with opportunities to work with the IDD community, but also to recognize and realize that working with this population is a viable career option and a really fulfilling and important one. So we'd like to continue that program this year as well with the help of our council members. We have our art program. Art serves all of our individuals, whether they're in day hab, respite, residential. It sort of just translates through all of our programs, and we're really proud to state that we are continuing our art show that we started last year. It's called Remarkable Creations. Save the date, it's on June 25th, and excess funding will go to supporting staffing for the program as well as some of the art supplies. Moving right along, keeping it nice and short, hopefully. We have our music and dance program. As you can see here in the picture, our Glee Club gets to perform in various venues around Staten Island. We work with Carolyn Clark and Kevin from the Staten Island Philharmonic, and just super grateful that we've been able to keep this going. We also have our dance parties, cardio dance fitness, music study. So it translates to all of our individuals, and we're super grateful that we're able to provide some fun musical and dance experiences for them. Moving right along, we have our Mind and Body program. Again, something that really carries through to all of our departments. We have our Wind Down Wednesdays, Go with the Floga, and really just these programs help our individuals with self-regulation and with coping mechanisms to deal with those everyday catalysts. So it also focuses on physical fitness, which we can all recognize as really important, and funding for this program would be used to support payroll. And last but certainly not least, we have our special athletics. And this is where our individuals will learn necessary skill sets to partake in a variety of sports, and the funds will be used for payroll, staffing, and coaching. That's all I got. If anyone has any questions about any specific programs, feel free to contact me. Here's my contact information, and I hope that was 3 minutes. We got a lot going on.
You were fine. Thank you, Jessica.
Great.
So I just have two quick questions for you.
Sure.
The friendship clubs, is that like a 5-day-a-week program?
Yes, so that is a day program. It's been running for years out of our site on Victory Boulevard, right across from Joe and Pat's. But we are looking to secure a larger facility for this, looking to expand, like I said, a lot of our individuals are moving up together. And so we want to make sure that we're able to provide them with meaningful experiences through all periods of their life.
Okay. And all of your programs, are they all back in person or half and half online, or?
They are all back in person. We are still continuing Zoom for our day hab for individuals that are not yet back in program. So we still continue a portion of it online. Respite as well as a portion is on Zoom as well. But for the most part, everything is available back in person.
Okay. And does any other board member have any questions for Jessica?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm having trouble with my computer. Is there, is there some indication that they have those who were still on Zoom will be coming back in person?
I believe so. I know that's why we have a really concerted effort on staffing, ensuring that we're appropriately staffed, that we can bring all individuals back safely. I will speak to the executive team, and we could speak offline about that, and I can get you an update.
Sure. Okay.
Thanks, Donna.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay. So then we're going to move right along to our next presenter, Tamara from St. George Theater. The stage is yours.
Thank you. The opportunity to speak with all of you today. I'm the St. George Theater's Director of Grants and Government Relations. I'm Tamara Kashecki. As I'm sure you are aware, the St. George is the largest performing arts center on Staten Island. We are very dedicated to the restoration of the historic theater and its continued growth as a cultural and performing arts center for both Staten Island and the greater New York City, New Jersey, tri-state community. The iconic venue is serving our Staten Island community through a very diverse public offerings, including low cost, and free educational programming for children and students. We have a Night of Theater initiative that provides thousands of tickets annually to socioeconomically challenged residents. And our vision is to bring world-class entertainment into the heart of the community, enrich our audiences through live performance in this unique and historic venue. And some of the programs that we host is a free dance and theater educational workshop for 75 boys and girls each summer. We do 10 to 12 school day theater series performances where school children get to come to the theater and see a live performance, and often they get to meet the performers and have a Q&A. We present both national and regional tours, as well as we connect local artists with audiences, and we do open up the space to other cultural and nonprofit groups. So at this time, the big ask that we have for this year is that we need to Purchase and install a new audio system. So that total cost is $855,000.
Oh my God.
They are not cheap. And because it's going through the city, it gets a little extra expensive, right? So the current audio system is well over 15 years old. It's considered obsolete technology, and it is out of date. The speaker system is also out of date. It is no longer being made, which means neither repairs can happen, and replacement parts are pretty much impossible to find and unavailable. So currently, we are renting additional audio equipment at an annual cost of well over $30,000 a year. So as we said, the restoration, renovation, and preservation of the St. George, it's a key aspect of our organization's mission statement. We know we're serving tens of thousands of children, seniors across Staten Island. We have an annual attendance rate close to 100,000. We are back in person, so our events are live. Our audiences are coming back slowly. As we know, this is still a work in progress to get people off their couches. But we believe that the St. George Theater is particularly important to the Staten Island downtown area. It is a cornerstone of its revitalization, and it's critical to the post-pandemic economic recovery, as well as the human healing that's been taking place in our community. So with the historic theater's proven revitalizers and economic drivers that create dynamic, livable, and walkable neighborhoods, a restored and fully functioning St. George Theater is going to help jumpstart the local restaurants and businesses as the city is continuing its reopening, and ensuring that the neighborhood is imbued with culture and arts that attract residents and tourists alike. And I'm happy to take any questions.
So the audio system, I assume that is your CAP grants, the cultural request for this year for the electeds?
Yes.
Okay, I don't have access to the system yet. I believe I'm getting it tomorrow, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, we submitted through the system. So the
Okay.
total project cost is $855,000.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions for St. George? Thank you very much for testifying. Okay, so moving right along, Donna Long, you are up for Crossroads.
Okay, and I apologize I'm having technical problems, so I can't get my camera on. But I represent the Director of External Affairs for Crossroads Unlimited, Inc., and we have been providing comprehensive services to individuals impacted by intellectual developmental disabilities, as well as autism and physical disabilities for the past 18 years. We're a small agency, and the programs that we provide include community residences and supportive apartments, residential opportunities, provide individuals with intellectual developmental disabilities the opportunity to live in a residential setting that best meets their needs. That could be with a small group of individuals, or if they're at a different functioning level, they can live in an apartment with supports. We also have day habilitation programs, and this program assists individuals to acquire, retain, and improve their self-help skills, socialization skills, as well as adaptive skills. Activities are designed to foster the development of skills and appropriate behavior, also to improve greater independence, and most importantly, community inclusion. We also have a community habilitation program, and this service helps individuals to learn and keep skills that help them live safely and more independently. Individuals with a community habilitation counselor will go into the community, and depending on their wants and needs, will go to different activities in the community, maybe to stores, maybe learning how to purchase things, change, and etc. Supports also include adaptive skill development and daily living skills. And again, most importantly, working on social skills, leisure skills, and self-advocacy so they can speak up for themselves. Our mission is to ensure the quality of life to the individuals we serve, as to promote independence, productivity. The funding requests include, but are not limited to, sustaining the programs that we provide, as well as expanding existing programs. As the number of individuals with IDD, autism, and physical disabilities continue to increase, so too does the need for services, as does the choice of agency and program that meets the needs of the individuals. And we are seeing a greater number of individuals needing services. And as many of the people here, I'm sure, we had some challenging times during the pandemic, but we were able to continue programs, and that was very key to helping the individuals sustain the abilities that they attained over the years. So I'm open to any questions.
Elena, do you have a question?
No, I do not.
Okay, your
Okay.
box lit up, that's why. Okay, does anybody have any questions for Donna? All right, thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, we have Victoria from the Alice Austin House. Take it away, Victoria.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. As Marie said, I'm Victoria Monroe. I'm the Executive Director of the Alice Austin House, and my pronouns are she, her. The Alice Austin House is grateful to the Borough President and Staten Island City Council members for supporting our meaningful, historical, photographic, and educational program. These programs allow Staten Islanders of any demographic to learn through the example of notable Staten Island resident and photographer Alice Austin. 2022 was a landmark year for the Alice Austin Park public programs. Obviously, our 15-acre park has become really crucial in our programming through the pandemic, being able to provide a beautiful, safe space for people to gather. We partnered with the Design Trust for Public Space to provide a month-long stage residency. It was called Turnout NYC. And there was also financial support for over 30 Staten Island artists and community groups, including La Colmena, Staten Island Black Heritage, Make a Park Radio, Taking It to the Streets, Films on the Bay, and Be Yoga. We provided structured events for poets, dancers, and visual artists to present their work. Importantly, we were able to present 6 outdoor exhibitions of Staten Island photographers with the support of Borough President funds. In addition to the outdoor programs, the Alice Austin House mounted 3 exhibitions in our museum. First was The Photographer in the Garden, which was a group show, then followed by a solo show by Paul and Pagi Sepuya, and finally Fine Bright Day, which was an exhibition of Alice Austin's historic photographs. The museum is proud to continue to provide education and creative arts programming through the City Council's Cultural Immigrant Initiative, Cultural After-School Adventures, and Coalition of Theatres of Colour Initiative. These are secured by Council Member Camilla Hanks, David Carr, and we are working with South Shore students in 2023 with the support of Council Member Joseph Borelli. This year, Borough President funding would support an outdoor installation opening on June 3rd in partnership with Photoville NYC. If you're not familiar with Photoville, they are in every single borough, and the Alice Austin House has become the Staten Island partner for managing to provide a platform for Staten Island photographers. We will display their work outdoors during the park's busiest season of public programs. It ranges from 3 to 6 months, weather dependent. The Alice Austin House will host outdoor lectures and digital slideshows to accompany this installation. The installation will consist of 4 large-scale cubes covered with printed photographs and weatherproof vinyl, and 2 large banners which will be displayed at Midland Beach on the boardwalk. The opening day will coincide with a free public performance celebrating the 50-year anniversary of the New York Landmarks Conservancy. The performance will include renditions of Alice Austin sheet music from the Austin Archive. That's a current research project of ours. And that will be performed in collaboration with the Tin Pan Alley Music Project. And the afternoon will conclude with a performance by award-winning lesbian artist and scholar Kay Turner. This is also celebrating the beginning of Pride Month NYC, we are a nationally designated site of LGBTQ history. Our request to City Council members, and I see that I've got the FY from there, in FY24, is to provide women's history programming, cultural immigration workshops, theatre workshops, after-school arts programs, and LGBTQ programming for Staten Island public school students in each district. Currently, we are serving 6 LGBTQ after-school programs and have requests for single programs from every single high school and intermediate that offers GSA programming. The museum's board and staff are proud to serve the community in ensuring that the legacy of Alice Austen is known to Staten Islanders and to preserve this landmark treasure in partnership with the New York City Parks Department. I do want to note that we do not receive any funding from the Parks Department. I extend a warm invitation to all to the museum for timed book tours and to enjoy our spring, summer, and public programming, which includes our 3rd triennial of Staten Island photography titled Ecologies. That actually opens this Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. So I do invite you to come along and enjoy the opening. We're very hopeful that the Commissioner of Cultural Affairs will also join us on Saturday. Thank you so much for your time and listening to me.
Thank you, Victoria. Does anybody have any questions for Victoria? Thank you, Victoria. We will be in touch to further discuss your proposal for us. Okay, moving right along. Next, we have Joe Tornello from Meals on Wheels. Joe, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. And thank you to the Borough President and our City Council representatives for this opportunity to present testimony for the Borough Board public hearing on the preliminary budget fiscal year 24. I'm not going to read all my what I submitted. I'm just going to take points from it. As this year, as we're still celebrating our 50th anniversary of service. We started serving meals in June of 1972. And so last year, we really spent the year commemorating that, and we'll be continuing to do that the early part of this year. I want to use this opportunity again to describe the status of our plan to build a new Meals on Wheels of Staten Island facility. Our facility here in Port Richmond has been stretched to the limit over the last few years, several years. In fact, we're utilizing every square inch of space we have here. Part of the reason why is that we've maintained our standard of service to never have a waiting list, and we serve all in need. And so, in effect, we've most years every year we've served at least our Department for the Aging, our New York City Aging budget, if not beyond that, and we are committed to maintain that standard going forward. Even as now we see New York City and Staten Island census projections indicating continued significant growth of our older adult population here on Staten Island. Our plans for the new building has gone through some transitions, and currently we have a site that we hope to be able to close on soon. The owner of that site needs to fulfill some obligations before we can actually do that. Now, hopefully those will be resolved and we'll be able to move towards the construction of a new facility. Our current City Council discretionary funding application submitted in February refers to our growth and need for support related to our increased operating expenses. The percentage increases on almost all of our raw food costs, our disposables, vehicle expenses, including transportation, insurance, equipment, all increased dramatically. I do want to congratulate Department for the Aging, New York City Aging. I see Aaron Wiseman is on the line here with us today. Department for the Aging has been supportive, not only for us, but for all of the home delivered meal programs in the city over this past year specifically. And with thanks to them, we are moving forward. Currently, our census is over 1,300 recipients. That's monthly. We're delivering over 1,200 meals a day. Average age is still over 80, 84. 2/3 of our census are over age 75, still receiving 2 meals daily. And we maintain that we are unique in that respect. We're the only program in the city that does that on a regular basis, because that was another commitment of our board back in 1972, that we would serve 2 meals daily, as well as serving all in need. All of our meals are nutritionist approved, low fat, low sodium to start. We are responsive to individual dietary requirements in consideration of physical health, medication statuses. Our kosher halal meals are also delivered utilizing a subcontractor. We have 2 full-time registered nurses who provide initial annual assessments just to ensure that our meal recipients are addressing their own needs, but also to confirm what dietary requirements they have so that we're sending out the right meal, not just a meal. Also, in coordination with the Department for the Aging, we've increased choice to include hot, fresh, chilled, frozen, cold meals for recipients to choose, even the frequency of delivery. Volunteering has been another important aspect of our aging services. As I mentioned earlier, over half of our meals are delivered by volunteers. We have 46 daily volunteer routes, and each route has a different volunteer for each day of the week. That's what makes it work. So somebody who's retired, who's 75 years old, may deliver an hour and a half, 1 day a week. So if we had to recruit volunteers 5 days a week, it would be more like a job, not just volunteering. But they're wonderful. Our volunteers are wonderful. We've also, over the years, partnered with day have programs, including on your mark here today, to help us with delivery of meals. We've always loved that program. It's a win-win both ways. The day have programs are providing meaningful service for their consumers, and we get very meaningful, very valuable activity in meal delivery, and not a penny is passed between us. I love it in that there's tremendous value and with no cost. We're often the only face-to-face contact with our meal recipients every day, and I've always equate that as just as important as the food we deliver. For many of our recipients, our deliverer is the only person they see face-to-face every day. I'm reading more about the term elder orphans. These are older people who are in those later years in their 70s, 80s, and 90s who are alone. And we are seeing that when we do intakes, that people cannot identify an emergency contact. Let me see what else. I'm skipping through some of my written testimony here. Our project moving forward with the new building is going to further improve our community impact. We see roles with regards to our Port Richmond, our current building, having other emergency food response needs in the community going forward. We remain a member. We're actually the only Staten Island member of the New York City Emergency Management FALT team, the Food Access Lead Team. Also, the New York City VOAD, Volunteer Organizations Against Disaster, and our Staten Island COAD, which I co-chair. We further extend health-related contracts to provide meals for managed long-term care providers, the Nursing Home Transition Program, as well as delivering meals for at the Pride Center. Our efforts with regards to the Medicaid-based programs is to help reduce Medicaid dollars being spent on more expensive ER visits, hospitalizations, long-term care. Provide healthy nutrition to people. Naturally, they'll stay healthier living in a community. The final point I want to make is that our staff, and we're very proud of our staff here, have worked continuously over the last 3 years. Our kitchen staff have come to the office. Our drivers and volunteers have been here to deliver food. Our office staff has been here to coordinate our efforts and have phone contact. Very proud of our staff, nonstop. We've maintained some of the COVID masking standards in our kitchen, but otherwise things are relaxing, as we all know. One thing that I've attempted to do and not succeeded is getting recognition through the hygiene worker bonus program. We've wanted to indicate that our staff in the kitchen and our drivers are frontline workers who've been there right throughout these last 3 years during COVID's worst days. And a lot of other groups, a lot of other workers in the settings have been recognized that way. That hasn't succeeded for us. I even appealed to the New York State Meals on Wheels Association on a state level to try to get that recognition. In any case, we've got great people working here, great staff, great volunteers. We're moving forward. We're looking for the continued support that we've been getting from the borough president and from our city council representatives. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you, Joe. Does anybody have any questions for Joe? Okay, moving right along. Next, we have the JCC. Michelle Danza, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to thank you for allowing me to speak this morning. I am here with Anita Bruckmeyer, the JCC's Chief Development Officer. Today, I'd like to just highlight some of the programs that we have requested funding for. The Jewish Community Center is one of the largest not-for-profit organizations in the borough and has been dedicated to serving residents for over 95 years. The JCC strengthens the bonds of the community through innovative programs that unify all members of our society and celebrate the diverse landscape of our borough. Our programs attract Staten Islanders of all faiths, ethnicities, and backgrounds, and provides accessible and critical support to those in need to maintain sustainability. Our purpose is to assist individuals obtain the skills that they need to succeed and transition into different phases of life. The JCC's actions and decisions are guided by identifying unmet needs within the community and working collectively with our community partners to provide services and support for all residents. Diverse religious and cultural organizations also recognize the JCC as a neutral space where individuals can work together for the common good of the community. The JCC operates 8 centers of excellence: community engagement, cultural arts, early childhood, youth and teen programming, senior services, services for people with disabilities, operations and membership, fitness, sports, and wellness. The JCC has been committed to providing adult literacy programs since 2008 and adolescent literacy programs since 2016. Our partnership with the Department for the Youth and Community Development has been instrumental in assisting Staten Islanders to master skills necessary to transition into different phases of life. Through our adolescent literacy program, we've assisted hundreds of youth to acquire the academic, communication, and critical thinking skills to foster success. Through our adult literacy program, we have assisted thousands of individuals to acquire the necessary skills to successfully pass and obtain their GED, become fluent in the English language, find gainful employment, achieve citizenship status, and become more active in their child's education. Literacy education has always been one of the JCC's most important initiatives. The JCC currently oversees city-funded literacy contracts focusing on lowest literacy level participants. To date, we have over 100 individuals on adult literacy waitlist. According to the literacy concept paper released by DYCD, the Borough of Staten Island would be eliminated based on the neighborhood tabulation areas for the upcoming round of contracts. The JCC has requested discretionary dollars to assist us to continue to serve the extraordinary people of our borough and offer classes in all 3 community districts. Assisting individuals to obtain financial security is one of the greatest factors in creating vibrant communities. The JCC's proposed funding request will empower individuals and initiate change within economically vulnerable communities through increasing skills to foster employability. Without access to career development opportunities, including advancing one's technology skills, those that are the most vulnerable will be at advanced risk of economic crisis. In 2021, the JCC launched Career Connections to offer critical support and wraparound services to maintain sustainability. A key part of Career Connections is offering strategies to improve an individual's potential in the workplace and help their career trajectory in response to the unemployment and job crisis in New York City. This extraordinary program expands the agency's capacity to assist unemployed and underemployed individuals acquire the tools and skills to secure viable employment and increase the agency's ability to expand career readiness services and coordinate resources. The program has been designed to provide a continuum of concrete critical support to assist participants overcome obstacles to employment. The JCC is perfectly positioned to support career pathways with training and education, including a focus on clean energy workforce, including wind. Last year, 176 individuals completed job training programs. The JCC has been a provider of adult critical support for over 50 years, supporting thousands of older adults, including victims of elder abuse and their families. In 2022 alone, over 2,500 older adults ages 60 plus utilized one of the many programs and services dedicated for the elderly offered at strategically located sites in the North Shore, Mid-Island, and South Shore communities. In 2021, we were awarded funding from DFTA to launch the only older adult center network on Staten Island, aligning our 3 existing older adult centers under one contract to maximize our service and our reach. The restructuring did not decrease personalized direct care provided to elderly clients. It actually expanded it. Requested funding will assist us to keep older adults engaged and ensure that they have the necessary support to age in place safely. Sunrise Day Camp creates an atmosphere where a child with cancer and their siblings can participate in an array of innovative activities in a safe and nurturing environment, with special features to accommodate critically ill children. Sunrise offers a traditional camp experience that fosters a sense of independence. Due to the limited financial means of family, the program, along with year-round service, is offered free of charge. Requested funds will help us to support general operating expenses of Sunrise Day Camp. On behalf of the JCC, I would like to thank you for your time and consideration and continuous support of all of these vital programs.
Thank you, Michelle. Does anybody have any questions for Michelle? Okay, moving right along, last but certainly not least, we have Paul Tharp from the Staten Island Ballet.
Thank you. Good morning. We're certainly well represented here with every part of Staten Island seems to have irreplaceable jewels. And many of you are here today. And there are a lot of small ones in between. They're like the emeralds and rubies of a big crown, which I think Staten Island is among the 5 boroughs. We are in our 30th year of providing conservatory ballet arts training and productions of professional dancers. And we've served more than 2,000 audience members over this time. And more importantly, we've created a pathway for many young people to get careers in the arts. And among our students just last year, 2 Hispanic teenagers who've been with us for several years. One got an $80,000 college scholarship and the other one $60,000 scholarship. They've honed their dance skills, particularly ballet dance, for scholarships at these institutions, which you look for, that sort of thing. And the ballet training is part wellness and discipline and poise, and it does enhance the opportunity to get college scholarships. And we trained them, we polished them for that. Our faculty, 4 faculty members, and sometimes it goes up to 7, they have college degrees from the baccalaureate all the way up to doctoral levels, and they're all working professionals. And they get $100 an hour, so we know that they're quite valuable. But apart from that, we are another tiny speck of a jewel in this wonderful place called Seaview Farm Colony. It's 90 acres, and we occupy the old laboratory building built right at the turn of the century, like 1916. It opened, and it was serving the TB epidemic at the time. And the laboratory building, it's a four-level building there, was where they actually developed the cure for TB in 1954. And 7 decades later, that building still stands, and we have it, and we've converted it to a dance studio, state-of-the-art dance studio with sprung floors, the only sprung floors on Staten Island. And it's also the largest and the oldest dance facility dedicated to dance in the island. And we have had very, very good support from donors and the borough president, Department of Cultural Affairs, and others. And we've proposed that heat is very important, and we put in 2 new boilers. Over the time we've had it, we've invested more than $800,000 of not city money, but private money, and continue to enhance the opportunity for more heat. And we put in 2 new boilers, but still, this winter we have, the temperature never goes above 50 degrees in these wonderful studios. And people are always wearing sweaters, and it kind of ties you up when you're trying to dance, as you well know, just getting a coat on and getting up out of the bed. So we have proposed putting in some interior storm windows. They actually exist. You can open and close them. They're about up to $400 a piece. And we have 12 drafty old windows that are, it's a landmark building, and you can't just knock them out, something else. And so we have this interior window plan. This should reduce our heating costs, which are about $2,000 a month in the winter, by about 20%. And that equals about $400 is the cost of one of those windows. And so we've put in a proposal to the borough president for support for 12 leaky old windows, which will enhance the heat situation and increase the participation. And people can drop those sweaters and dance freely. And the only thing I would mention is that what all of you do here, this is just done on talent and gumption and generosity of so many people. It bowls me over. When people, we migrated from the city out here many years ago, and when people from the city come out, we will take them around and show them these things. They're just stunned that there is this Richmond town and the Greenbelt and Alice Austin and St. George. The St. George Theater is nothing like it anywhere. But these are all wonderful. I'm calling them jewels. So let's polish the crown as best as we can. And I thank you for your patience and your time.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. Does anybody have any questions for Paul? Okay, then thank you. I just want to thank everybody for testifying at the morning. I know we were missing 2 members. The councilwoman got tied up in a hearing, but I will be giving them a copy of all of your presentations. So all the members will have your presentations. So thank you again. Okay, for the board members, can I just entertain a motion to adjourn until the 4 p.m. session?
Motion to adjourn.
Jerry first. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Okay,
Brianna?
meeting is adjourned until 4 p.m. Thank you again, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Eric.
guys.
Thank you.
Well done.